It's a little bit ironic. 1964 is how many delegates have been allocated, with Barry Goldwater in 1964 being against the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Fucking shitting. So new scoreboard is, 1139 to 825. Bernie Sanders is down by 314 delegates, but that's acceptable. There's still more time. There's still plenty more delegates, plenty more elections, 28 more elections, 2 months, 27 days left. 2,087 delegates now, and he's not that much far. John Kasich was to jump in right now. John Kasich could win the Democratic primary if he won every fucking delegate for the rest of the, election. He wins one state, and he's like, oh, there's still a fucking chance. And there's 28 fucking elections left. So there's 28 elections. It's halftime right now. Bernie Sanders does need to, they scored a touchdown right before the halftime. 2,087 delegates are left to choose from 1964, so they haven't even reached the halfway mark. They haven't even got, it's basically halftime, basically. It'll probably be halftime after, next Tuesday, Super Tuesday 4, but, so the new scoreboard right now is 1,139 to 825 delegates. Remember these numbers. This is March 18th, 2016, Jonathan Masters, Braunston, Kentucky, 5:30 p.m., March 18th, 2016. These numbers have actually changed since yesterday. From, yesterday to today, they were able to count more of the delegates, and there's still like 20, 30, more delegates left to figure out, from Super Tuesday 3. So the purpose of this video is the math. Beware the Ides of March. The scoreboard is 1139 to 825, which means 114 difference. Bernie is down by 314, but overall, there's still 2,087 delegates left to get. So 1139, 825, you add those up, 1964. 1964 subtracted from the 4,051 total delegates in the. So what does this mean? Okay, well, what it means is 2,087 delegates are left to get 2,087. And 1964 has already been delegated. These are the Democratic, the fair fucking real super delegates, the Democratic pledge delegates that the state and caucuses choose. So that for right now, it's not. They haven't even passed the halfway mark. If you were to take, all the delegates and split them in half, it's 1964. They still have 2,087. 2,087 delegates are still left to choose from. Meaning, if John Kasich was to jump in right now, John Kasich could win the Democratic primary if he won every fucking delegate for the rest of the, election. He wins one state, and he's like, oh, there's still a fucking chance. And there's 28 fucking elections left. So there's 28 elections.
People deserve to be treated as well as any white man in America. And for the first time in my life, I am seeing a politician call for true equality by way of policy and not asking me to wait. For the first time in my life, and I'm going to leave and I'm going to introduce this guy soon, but
I don't know how the rules are. That's complicated. There's many delegates from caucuses that haven't even picked all the delegates out yet. So, like Nevada, these numbers, even for folks who know what's going on, is shaky. So, yeah. I just wanted to add a couple things. There's 33 delegates still left to be figured out from March 15th, 5 state elections. The fucking massacre, the Super Tuesday 3 massacre. So that's just something to think about. They haven't counted all the delegates. Still 33 delegates are left just from those 5 state elections, not counting all the other ones. Also, any of these delegates, the pledge, they're the super, fucking Howard Scream-Dean. That's a fucking super guy right there. They could die before the convention. They would have to be replaced or not.
When you have an opportunity to tell 2 black girls to shut up and get off stage and you don't, and you shake their hand and you smile and you step to the side and you listen, that is a firm difference from turning around and staring at a little black girl and saying, shut up, I'll talk to you later. You're being rude or allowing people to say that.
Further away from winning than she is. While he's down 314 delegates, he needs, if he was to win all the delegates up for grabs, he would, overwhelmingly get what he needs to do. But essentially, he needs 1,201 delegates in order to get the magic number, the 2026, the half of the 5,000 or 4,051. Plus 1. So, you take the total amount, split in half, and then add 1, and that's 2,026. So he needs 1,201 to win. She needs 887. So he needs 1,200, and it's not, it's not 50-50 chance. It's actually less than 50-50. But that doesn't mean that it's not possible, okay? So he needs to win 60-40 margins from here on out. Arizona, don't know what the fuck is up with them. The 1964, it's halftime. So 1964, the delegates that have been delegated in 2000, and so 2,087 delegates have not been delegated. So that means there's more delegates who have not been delegated out yet than there are delegates who have already been pledged and have already gone through the caucus and the primary. So they haven't reached the half. So he needs 1,201 delegates to win. She needs 887 more delegates to reach that, mathematically, and the magic number, okay, 2026. So that's awesome. I mean, that's amazing. That old Polish Jew who dreams of free college and universal health care for everybody, like they do in Ireland. He only needs 1,201 more delegates, so he's basically right there. Essentially, he needs to kick Hillary Clinton's ass, like just 60-40% from here, all the states on out. And I've heard Maryland and Delaware, I don't know what the fuck is up with them. And Arizona, I don't trust them bastards worth a fuck. That's a Barry Goldwater state right there, is Arizona. So, but essentially, besides those three states, Bernie is on track to win every single fucking state. And if that's true, something Nate Silver, 538 or some shit. And if that's true, then that means there is a fucking pathway for Bernie Sanders to win this thing. But he's got to win by large margins. He's got to win substantially. He can't fucking lose any more of these elections. Stop losing. No more. No more losses. From here on out, every state, every Bernie Sanders needs to be on the phone to round this all out and smooth the edges. Essentially, it's halftime right now. Bernie Sanders does need to, they scored a touchdown right before the halftime show is called. So, touchdowns, that's 6 points or so. So, depending if you make the field goal. So, that's bad. That means that was a good body blow. It's not the end of the fucking world. It's not mathematically impossible for him to win. It's actually very probable. The last thing, actually, that I want to mention, Marianas Islands, there's 5 superdelegates. The chair of the Democratic Party first said that he wanted Hillary, but the other ones were uncommitted. Then they called him again. And then he said, nah, we're all for Hillary. John Kasich was to jump in right now. John Kasich could win the Democratic primary if he won every fucking delegate for the rest of the, election. He wins one state, and he's like, oh, there's still a fucking chance. And there's 28 fucking elections left. So there's 28 elections.
I'm going to tell you the proof is in the pudding every time. If I can find a picture of you from 51 years ago, chained to a black woman, protesting segregation, and I know 51 years later, you're willing to close your arms, hold your head, and listen to 2 black girls yell and scream, rightfully so, as opposed to someone who will tell you to shut up after they've read their own words, as opposed to someone who will tell you later when it comes to your
to round this all out and smooth the edges. Essentially, it's halftime right now. Bernie Sanders does need to, they scored a touchdown right before the halftime